I do not fear for my crumbling limbs. The only thing that frightens me is losing sight of those pieces I yearn for. I don't want to lose the light and return to the monster that I was. Now then, time to go grant a single wish in exchange for her dream. Thus I return to this place, an empty place, the outside of the world which does not allow any being to exist or think as I'm doing right now. In my infinitely vast yet consequently small nostalgic home, neither time nor space can exist. However, now there seems to be something like coordinates here. Since I exist here like this, it's natural for there to be special positions. Those coordinates connect 2 points of light. The horizon exists, relying on the entrance and the exit of the void. I take a step forward. Okay. The scene in front of my eyes makes my heart ache. The thing I must destroy. A one-time only miraculous mistake. Well, there's Bazett, and there's a little I guess, what do you call it? You know, the stained glass. I guess you always see in like churches. You know, like it's all been fully formed. You know, you always see that when every time she dies and resurrects, I guess, or the world like restarts or whatever. Well, the Holy Grail with only one blank space left within it, or is it the Holy Grail? I guess the representation of Holy Grail. I don't know. The last spectator is standing in front of the crystallization of the ordinary days born in this void. The contractor of the Holy Grail. The only human who continues to sleep in this place. As an enemy sharing the same wish yet hoping for a different result, she is protecting this Holy Grail.
Yo, こっちの姿だと初めましてかな。元気そうで何よりだ。
I raise my hand without getting any closer. This is as close as we're gonna get to each other. That's due to the emotional distance which already separates us.
止まりなさい、アベンジャー。それ以上進めば、あなたを殺します。
Oh, that would we went all this way and then she punches us in the face and we explode. What a waste. That would be very anticlimactic. And there's also the physical problem of being killed if I go any closer.
そりゃ困る。俺がこの体でここに来たらもう戻れない。このまま二人でずっとにらめっこをするか、また殺されて下に戻るかしかないんだな。
ならここで殺すまでです。私の聖杯戦争において、あなたはもう取り込んだ。私は私で好きにやります。あなたはその体で望みを叶え続ければいい。
So that was your aim. Since I'm not getting involved with the winner of the 5th Holy Grail War, don't get involved in my battle either. That's what she's proposing.
どちらにしても殺すわけか。そりゃ今までポンポン死んでたけどさ、いい加減蘇生回数も品切れだろって怖くならない？
なりません。この聖杯に空白がある限り、あなたは何度でも蘇る。まだ見ぬ展開、まだ見ぬ未知こそがあなたの原動力だ。このまま地上に戻って二度とここへ訪れなければ永遠に続けられる。そう、永遠に続けられるのに、どうして？
Her reddish-brown eyes show her irritation. Leave this place. If you don't leave here, I will just remove you by force. Her unwavering hostility conveys that as it assails me.
参ったな。やり合わなきゃ引いてくれないか？
あなたこそ一度殺されなければわかりませんか？
げえ、汚ねえな。 俺あんたとは戦えないのに、こんなことならやっぱり霊樹にしてもらうんだった。
その口ぶりではまだ諦めていないようですね、アベンジャー。私にはあなたの考えがわからない。たとえ同じことの繰り返しでも、ここなら私たちは生きていられる。私たちが願った通りの現実がある。なのにどうして自分で自分を殺すような真似をするのです。
そりゃあんただけだ。俺はそもそも無だからな。生きるも死ぬも関係ない。
同じことです。私もあなたもこの願いが終われば消えてなくなってしまう。私は嫌だ。死にたくなんてない。外の世界なんてどうでもいい。あなただって元の無になんか戻りたくないでしょ。
The Holy Grail rumbles. Her feelings are a form of impact in themselves. Half of this place is hers. Even though I'm the driving force that keeps the Holy Grail spinning, she has the advantage when it comes to power. I lost the ability to destroy the Holy Grail with brute force a long time ago. There's only one way to stop this wish. She who refuses to let it stop, and my heart which in truth wants to agree with her. I have to lower the curtains completely on both of those.
そりゃ俺だってもう少しぐらいは続けたい。けどさ、間違ったことは正さないと気が済まないんだ。この願いは間違ってるだろ。だから止めないと。俺は正義の味方だからな。自分のことよりどうでもいい誰かの方が大切なのさ。
I mean, Shirou is, but like, I know it's weird. Again, it's weird because like, Avenger is possessing Shirou, but not really. He's like because Avenger or Angry Mayu started with nothing, you know, he has no personality, so everything he takes over is Shirou, so he's just Shirou, but like, with a different voice maybe, I don't know. Dumbstruck, she stares at me. Believe me, the feeling's absolutely mutual.
信じられない。あなた正気？
どうも正気で本気みたいだな。ほんと、とんだ化け物だよこいつ。
I shrug. But I can't help it. That's the kind of human I became. And that's the kind of human I've repeatedly gone through these ordinary days as. Yeah, because, again, it's like he's kind of like fake Shirou, but also he is Shirou. I guess he's really, you know, he only takes on the Avenger persona when he's like Shirou, but also like in addition to his memories as Angry Mayu, or at least his idea as like a servant, you know, from the void maybe. So that combination is what makes the Avenger that we now know. I think, probably, something like that. But he still is like taking on the ideals of Emiya Shirou anyway. So in a way, he's just like a different Emiya Shirou, I don't know. Well, I couldn't agree with that way of thinking right until the end, but after steadfastly following through with it until the day, I can at least accept it just this once. Maybe? I don't know. Well, that's how it is. I really don't like it, but I'm okay with one guy like that being around.
とまあ、そういうわけなんで、聖杯は壊させてくれないか？身勝手な願いはここで終わりにしよ
う。違う。それはあなたの考えじゃない。本当のあなたの願いじゃない。そんな見栄をここで止めたら、本当のあなたは何一つ救われない。
That's right, you can't be shaved. Wow, it's like red text, all caps. Turn off your caps lock.
本当の俺なんてもともといないんだがね。まあいい。じゃあこっちから聞くけど、あんたはなんでこの願いに固執するんだ？あんたが言うようにこっちにいれば救われるのか？
She doesn't reply. Naturally, if she was the kind of woman that could reply instantly here, she wouldn't be looking for salvation in the first place.
春は ここにいる限り私はこうして居続けられる。
死なないだけだ。それは救いじゃない。
でもここは楽だから。あんな苦しいだけの外に比べたら少しは。
変わらないだろう。これでも長い付き合いだったんだ。あんたがどれだけ不器用かはよく知ってる。このまま続けばあんたは永遠に苦しみ続ける。
She distrusts herself. She feels guilty towards everyone around her. She can boast of specializing in a certain area more than anyone else, yet in the end believes that she can't accomplish anything. The harder she trains, the harder she tries, the more she is forsaken by those around her. This sense of defeat is the scar on this woman's heart, never leaving her since the day she was born.
でも努力するしか道はない。孤立する無様さより努力をしない無様さの方があんたには耐えられない。そうしてあんたはずっと強者なのに一番底にいるという屈辱に苛まれる。その克服はここでもできなかった。そうだろう。どんなに勝ち残り何人のマスターを倒したところであんたは一度も自分を誇りに思えなかった。
それはあなただって。
And here we go again, by the way. Psychoanalysis, like, what is it called? Psychoanalysis. Why can't I say that word? Analyze. Why can't I say the word? Psychoanalyzing her. Why can't I say that word? Why? You know, analysis, but like the verb of analysis. Sometimes I can't say words for some reason. Anyway. You can only hate. Analyzing. Why can't I say that word? Psychoanalyzing her again. Anyway. You can only hate. You can only devour all the things you love.
言っとくけどさ、どこであろうと無理なんだ。その惨めさは一生拭いされない。それは人間が死ぬまで抱えていくものだ。あんたのついてないところはその惨めさを預けられるやつに出会っちまったってことだ。
She really does have shitty luck with men. Yorokobe? Yorokobe. That priest was just a mirror that reflects and magnifies the burdens people trust him with. He wasn't to blame. Yorokobe. Her weakness in trying to obtain comfort by leaving the burden to him just ended up being the cause of her defeat. The end.
その荷物は誰も持ってやることはできない。自分で抱えるしかない。
You gotta carry that weight or
人
something.
間に支え合うことができるのは荷物じゃなく、荷物の重さで倒れそうな体だけだ。
And unluckier still, this woman has an intensive training freak, or was an intensive training freak, so much that she could somehow support herself alone. That's why she's never had the experience of collapsing. She mistakenly believes that this burden, this anguish, is something that someone else will support for her.
苦悩は誰にも理解されない。それは内だろうと外だろうと同じことだ。いいか、ここには救いなんてない。ただ苦しいだけだ。目を覚ませよ、マスター。あんたは死なない代わりにここで永遠に苦しみ続ける気か？
じゃあ何？あなたの言い分だと私は一生負け犬みたいに生きてくってこと？
みたいじゃなくてそのものだろう。あんたは騙し討ちされて負け犬のままここに引きこもったんだ。その念がある限りずっと悩み続けるさ。
もういい。裏切り者、裏切り者、裏切り者。
Uragimono.
ここがあなたの願いでしょ？なら私には苦しいだけでも構わない。どうせ同じことだもの。外の世界だって私にとって。
The same. The woman says that continuing to live is hard.
それは違う。
それは違う。
なんてそんなこと。 お前は生まれた時から分かっていたんじゃないのか。
I don't know. Sorewa Chikayo just reminds me of Danganronpa. That way of being is what made me side with her. This woman is weak, I have no complaints about her abilities, but her existence itself is too fragile, possessing doubts about one's existence a fatal flaw. A mind that's on the verge of dying at any moment. A pessimism that might lead her to cutting her wrists if she weren't always bracing herself. However,
それでもここまでやってきたじゃないか。あんたは不器用で無様だったけど、ずっと少しでもマシな自分になろうと頑張ってきた。
pushing hard in spite of being weak, you struggle to improve yourself in any way you could. You continue breathing despite the pain up until now. If you don't acknowledge your pride in that, then who else will?
やめてよ。あなたの功績はもう十分。自分のことを棚に上げて偉そうなこと言わないで。
You know, this, I don't know, because it's like fate, it's like supposed to be like, this is like a magical world, and we're trying to end the loop and everything. But I feel like this like final conversation, or I don't know if it's the final one, but like, it really is just like the end of like a romance drama of an anime? I don't know. The very end is just that.
もうその目には何も映っていないくせに。
The woman shakes her head. This is the same world of like servants and masters and people like blasting like sword beams, and yet we're just talking at the end. Just say like just making her like change her mind about something. While the woman shakes her head, she refuses to discard her wish. Like a child throwing a tantrum, believing that everything will really end if she loses the argument here.
目だけじゃない。自分のことさえ見えていない。私だって死にたくない。けど、あなたの未練は私の非じゃないはずよ。
Like if this, I don't know again. Like if this was like, like removing the context of like the magic stuff and the, the whole like illusionary world and the fact that she died, if that wasn't a thing, you could just replace the context of her just like being like a hikikomori, like a shut-in, and then her friend is trying to drag her out of the room, you gotta go to the outside world, get a job, I don't know, that's what I see.
あなたはずっと遊んでいたかった。隙間なんて埋めたくなかった。自分が無に戻ると分かっていたから。なのに日常を回し続けたのはあなたにとって。
Maybe I watched too much anime. I mean, this is anime as well, I guess, but no. Well, she really is dense. Like I keep saying, I'm bored of that stuff. I've already seen all the scenes.
いないか。そういうあんたこそ俺がちゃんと見えているか。
There's a limit to the budget of this visual novel, Bazett. We can only, like the people who made this can only make so much scenes.
影にしか見えない。もうあなたは何者でもなくなっている。
そうだ。それが正しい。間違えるなよ、マスター。この体、このキャラクターはエミヤシロウの殻をかぶったから生まれたもの。本来の俺は無だ。愛着も未練も持たない。もともと俺は何も思わないし、何もしないものなんだぜ。
That's why it's of no concern to me if I return to the void.
嘘。嘘。嘘。嘘。騙されない。私は見捨てない。願いを叶え続けなさい、アベンジャー。飽きてしまってもいい。何一つ新しい出来事が起きなくなってもいい。一人で戦い続けるというなら付き合う。まだ隙間はあるんでしょ。ならいい。小さいけれどまだ見えるものがあるのなら。
Keep this world turning. Keep going through those golden days. Keep experiencing that which I've never could obtain yet should have originally been given to me.
しつこいな。
Zed, I'm kind of bored of these slice of life scenes, There's been a lot. There's been a lot. Some of them pretty funny. Some of them interesting, but you know, I want this to end already, Bazett.
悪いけど、その願いは叶えられねえわ。
Which is like, you know, again, it's like
ここまでにしようぜ。
this could have been like a meta narrative or something, you know. I guess if it wasn't like attached to the Fate franchise, this could have been like really like actually like a world where it's like an actual like game. Well, that kind of reminds me of another game that actually did that, but anyway. Like the characters are like aware of their own existence as characters in the game or something like that, you know? Again, that's been done, but you know. I take a step forward. What a joke. In the end, Bazett didn't even try to stop me. In short, she's so angry because...
やめてよ。ここから出れば元の死体に戻るのに。ここにいればいくらでも楽しい時間を繰り返せるのに。
Okay, this is a picture of Bryn sleeping. It's the obtrusive thought that's continuing the wish. If I so much as said the word, then it could have been broken long ago.
楽しくはなかった。私は楽しかった。苦しかったけど、その苦しさも結局は。
Then the rest is simple. I'm already tired of this, so I just need to put in my obvious conclusion to words.
結局は生きてこその喜びだった。あんな虚無に戻りたいはずがない。ここは私の望みでも何でもない。アンリマユ、この世界はあなたの夢だった。聖杯戦争を続けようとしたのが私の願いなら、あの平穏な日常こそが。
Swimsuit, okay. This is his wish to be like. Well, this is Angry Mayu's wish to be a harem protagonist in an anime. You know, that's his dream, I guess. A dream that has passed. It can't continue anymore. No matter how fun it is. If I filled all the gaps, I've seen all the swimsuits.
そうだな。けど、もう大抵は飽きちまったから。
No. For the sake of something new.
終わりでも見てみないと。
Too much ugly lines? Oh, now it's guitar. Electric guitar. Meow. The tension disappeared. What a shame. I can't see what expression she's making now.
諦めろマスター。これで跡形もなく消え去る。俺やあんたがどんなに望んだところでこの世界はおしまいだ。
A voice which asks why? Jeez, I explained it all just now. So what she's asking me for? Jeez.
そりゃそうさ。完成したんだからあとは壊れるしかないだろう。全部なくなれば俺もあんたも消えるだけだ。
Dry throat.
どうして？なくなるってことはゼロでしょ？虚無があるのならあなたは何度でも蘇ると。
それは1があってこそだ。完全な無からは何も生まれない。1は0という空きを利用して流動する。
Ah, yes, binary. Yes, 1, 0, 0, 1.
けど0はね、1がなければ何にもなれないんだよ。
It's the fundamental of all computer programming. Sort of. Not really, but you know. And there's no concept of one inside me. Everything flows with the void. But the void never partakes in those new events.
そう。これで終わりなのね。あれだけの出来事を経験して結局何も学べなかったなんて。
a gentle voice. She's a little afraid, but as far as people resolve to die go, she's doing a great job of acting prepared.
それは今後の課題ということで。ま、元から幻みたいなものだったからな。形に残る戦利品なんて。
Huh. I see. So I can leave that behind at least? Despite everything, I'm still her servant that existed and lived for half a year. I'll make a wiggle room for that at least. Yeah, everyone's been mentioning like 6 months, 6 months. I assume I guess this whole ordeal was 6 months? I thought like, it was like they had like 6 months of memories, but no, it's like, well, I mean, in a way, I guess yes, but like, before the whole loop thing. But I guess they've looped for as much as 6 months. So I guess, you can maybe figure out how many days Shirou and the others, or Avenger Shirou, I guess, spent in this loop, the whole ordeal of Fate Hollow Ataraxia, in total was 6 months, I guess.
Avenger?
いや、こっちの話。それより、聖杯はどうなってる?
And from that, I guess, well, I don't know, I don't want to do the math now, but 6 months, divided into 4 weeks maybe, or 3 weeks, 4 weeks? 4 weeks, right? Divide that by the number of days, and divide that by 4, and you get exactly how many loops that caused the end to happen, maybe, That's what I was thinking. I see. In that case, this body should be satisfied as well. Just once, I saw the dream of a stupid man. Unfortunately, his way of life makes me want to hurl, but I'm grateful that I had the chance to become that warped human being. A way of living completely opposite to mine. The form of an ideal that everyone dreams of and eventually discards once they decide its hypocrisy is evil. That foolish naivety, I probably yearned for it at least once.
よし。さあ、お互いの場所に帰ろうぜ、マスター。このために作り上げたんだ。最後は綺麗さっぱりなくならないと。
アベンジャー、お互いの場所といっても、私にはどうしていいか。このままあなたと共に消えるのかと。
そこまで付き合うことはない。ほら、あんたはそっち、俺はあっちだ。ここで根性の別れだな。
I point towards the horizon. The entrance is the world after this. In other words, the fifth day. The exit is the world before this. In other words, the void. Why? Bazett asks in surprise. It should need to be said, though.
いや、あんた生きてるから。
何?
死んでない人間はあっち側には行けないでしょ。
Wait a minute. ちょっと待って. Her breath seems to catch in her throat. Well, when you're told that all of a sudden, I guess it's hard to believe.
待ってください。私は確かに。
死んでないよ。死にたくないってのがあんたの願いだっただろ。俺はそれを叶えただけだ。
Well.
あの時のあんたは仮死状態だった。俺は半年間ずっとあんたをその状態で維持していたんだ。
Oh, there you go. I guess Bazett gets a good ending after all. I thought she was just gonna die, and that 6 months didn't really pass, but I guess it did, and that this whole story was just keeping, I guess, Bazett alive until she woke up from her anime-induced coma, I guess. I don't know. The problem was after that. The woman from the church found Bazett in the secret chamber and just had to go and also generously treat her, which complicated things. If she hadn't showed up, things could have, they couldn't have continued much longer. It seems Bazett's body was at its absolute limits. If that woman hadn't discovered her, this 4-day cycle probably would have suddenly come to an end one day. Even if I continued acting as a life support machine, Bazett's body might not have been able to last in that state longer than half a year. Well, I guess good thing Karen found her. It just works out in the end.
死者を蘇らせられるのは聖者だけって話。 そもそもあんたが死んでたら死者である俺を呼ぶなんてできないんだよ。
That's right. The wishes of the dead cannot be granted. It's always the breath of life that causes things to happen. Even if the deceased were to be granted life once again, without a doubt, the dead cannot bring back the dead. That's the thing that's been repeated, a few times. Wasn't that the first thing I was told? The only ones that can ever call forth a miracle are the living. I hear something. For a place that should have hurried off to take its curtain call and dissolve away, it's doing pretty well to hang in there for us.
急げ。いつまでも道はないぞ。外も時期夜明けだ。あそこを抜ければ念願の5日目だぜ。
でもあなたは。
いいから早く行けっての。言ったよな。自分の願いを叶えろって。なら立ち止まるな。あんたに残られると俺の願いが叶わなくなる。
That's all I wished for. What a boring sentiment.
無理です。いきなり生きているなどと言われてもどうすればいいのか。
I don't know. Stand up, do a little dance?
大体
You tell me.
外も内も変わらないと言ったのはあなただ。このまま現実に戻っても私は。
今まで通りにやっていくんだろ。いろいろ口出しはしたが、その生き方自体に文句はない。あんたはおっかなびっくり生きていけばいい。
Just be awkwardly social? No, socially awkward, rather. Just like you always have, I guess.
あのバカ神父も言ってたじゃないか。行き詰まったら海を渡れってさ。それは正しい。バゼット、世界は続いている。瀕死寸前であろうが、断末魔にのたうち回ろうが、今もこうして生きている。それを未来がないとお前は笑うのか。
If the host is still struggling to live, it's absurd for the parasite to give up. If there's still life remaining, there should still be plenty of things that can be accomplished. I don't care whether those things are good or bad. I can't pass a judgment on living things running through the present anyway. All life runs without receiving any reward, in order to have their value acknowledged by those that follow after them.
ずるい。あなたにそれを言われたら言い返すことができない。
As the electric guitar still plays in the background, I can still hear it.
恨み事と思ってくれ。悪魔の身ゆえ、還元で人をたぶらかすんだ。
I grin broadly. I hope the shadow made in my shape can actually express that smile.
知らなかった。あなた悪魔だったんですね。
Just a little energy returned to her
何
voice.
言ってやがる。アンリマユってのは偉い悪魔の名前だろうが。
それはそうですが、あなたはとてもそんな大物には見えませんでしたから。
I hear a strained laugh. Jeez, for a wimp, her retorts are at least first-rate. My lovely master seems to have begun gazing at the distant entrance that lies at the root of this place.
ですが、今は信じます。外に戻れというのは還元以外の何者でもない。要するに、あなたは私に苦しみ続けろというのですね。
Yep.
当たり。秘密にしてたが、あんたのもがきようが大好きだったんだ。
それは随分と隠し事の下手なサーバントだ。
That was the best farewell I could wish for. Looks like I enjoyed this relationship of ours. I'm sure that's the reason why I accompanied her without violating or killing her. That's why I wanted a farewell like this at the very end. It's all wholesome and everything, but you remember that Avenger wanted to do some pretty bad things for her. Anyway, we're part in the same manner as our relationship has always been. If there's one thing we haven't done, it's only the fact that we have never fought while covering each other's backs right until the end.
と、おしゃべりはここまでだ。あんたが行かないなら別にいいけど、俺は先に行かせてもらうぜ。
安心なさい。とりあえず私も立ち止まることはしません。ただ、その前に 聞かせてほしい。真剣に聞くのですから、あなたも全力で答えなさい。
She sounds nervous. Wondering what she could possibly be holding back at this late hour, I tilt my head in curiosity.
なんで何の取り柄もない私をどうして選んでくれたのです？
I don't know, you happen to be there?
私はあなたの言う通り弱くてつまらない人間なのに。
An awkward question indeed. I mean, we had to pick one character.
わかんねえかな。だからそこがいいの。俺が好きなのはあんたのそういう弱さだ。自分が嫌いで一生好きになれなくて、それが分かっていながら少しでも上等な自分になりたくてあがいてきた。俺はそういう無様なやつがいい。結果はどうあれ自分のために進むやつが好きなんだよ。
それは人のためでなく？
ああ、そういうのは余裕のあるやつに任せておけばいい。
Well, that would be Shirou, yes.
あんたはもう少し自分だけで手一杯だってことを自覚するべきだ。バカなんだから。
I hear a noise get caught in her throat. I can't tell if she's holding back a yell or a laugh.
なるほど。つまりあなたは私がどうでもいい人間だから助けたのですね。
Yeah. It's precisely because you're such an ordinary human. Precisely because you were so weak. That you are an irreplaceable light to me, okay? Again.
わかりました。それではあなたの気まぐれに甘えると。
Again, take out the context of the whole magic stuff, and it's really like, it really is just like a romantic drama. It's like,
それでいい。じゃあまあ一緒に別れるか。
a soap opera, you know, sort of.
ええ。では背中合わせでいきましょう。なんというか今あなたの顔を見たらひっぱたいてしまいそうなので。
She speaks with a bright voice. At the very end, I accomplished what I couldn't before.
大丈夫かな。俺ちゃんと背中ある？
あります。ほらかかとを回して。
We're back to back now. I don't feel any sensation of contact, but I'm sure she's behind me. I can no longer feel warmth or anything else for that matter, but my joy-filled heart is still alive and working.
確かに。じゃあ行くぞ。
せっかちですね。ここまでしたのですから同時にスタートしましょう。3秒数えたら走り出すという。
Alright, such a strange proposition, but alright. Like sprinters, with a prep signal gun in each of our hearts. 3, I take a deep breath.
抜け駆けして2秒目で走り出すというのはなしですよ。決闘ではないんですから。
2, I enjoy that typical anxiousness of hers.
甘いな。俺だったら1秒目で逃げ出してる。相手が3秒待ってる頃にはとんずらだ。
1, I retort just like usual.
そうですね。私も3秒待った後でその背中を狙い撃ちます。
A loud laugh. Haha, I will kill them with a gun. Haha. Or, well, like a magic projectile maybe. Anyway, 0. Hey, it's symbolic because 0. 0 means void, nothing. And then they run. Hooray. My vision is filled with nothing but the void. There's no trace of the happiness I felt from behind me. I hear a crumbling sound. That sound will also probably return to the void soon. I run, not hurriedly, just at an average pace right until the end. I would have felt the wind on my face a few hours ago, but now I no longer receive such external information. Sooner or later, these thoughts will chip away as well. The tremors that can just barely be heard are merely the sound of everything crumbling down now. In that case, this sound must be something happening inside me. I run. If I remember right, the exit was over there. I should have properly checked when I could still see. Within the sound of fluttering fragments, I hear the commotion I once went through. My legs are on the verge of stopping, but I keep them moving. Okay, I guess the blocks, they're meant to be like a representation of Avenger losing his sense of self. That's the idea anyway. I hear the sounds of lives blooming everywhere and see the sunny spot where I once was. My legs are on the verge of stopping, but I keep them moving. I head towards the exit. With unseeing eyes, I run through the midst of the fragments of those ordinary days that I yearn for more than my own annihilation. I just wanted to see something new. Just like how my previous self wished for her revival, I wanted to know even one more of those many ordinary days, even if that meant returning to being me. While knowing that death was 10 seconds away, I sought the light 1 second after. I run. There's no distance in this void. If I don't walk towards it and struggle on to reach it, then I won't reach it for eternity. I lost sight of the light of the exit when my sight returned to the void. There's nowhere for me to go now that I have returned to the void whence I came. Whee! All the waifus. Plus Bazett, I guess. But even so, against these closed eyelids, it feels dazzling. Even while collapsing, the world continues to revolve. I feel grateful and glad for the time spent. I bid farewell to the people who were with me. Thank goodness. It seems there's an exit even for someone like me. There's a difference between ending and not continuing, my previous self once said. If I borrow the hope in those words, it seems that by ending, I can finally see the continuation. I won't come to a halt and remain stopped forever here. Even if I disappear, I will aim for what lies next. For that reason, I filled up the void that composed me and completed a single picture. For that reason, I will continue to the void that is me and complete the picture of this world. Though I can no longer see that picture, I hope that this picture will be beautiful to everyone. I run, I run, I run. The stars shine. The destination is certain. This torn apart body is only moving forward through willpower. It's alright, there's nothing I can't be reached. Even if the things I dreamed of stop and lose their light, they feel dazzling to my eyes. Lastly, I say goodbye to my current self. Now then, let's go see the continuation of the end. I know that it's just my imagination and that it isn't such a good place, but for now, I walk towards that dazzling light. Oh, it's morning. Birds are chirping. The sun is shining. We're in where Bazett was hiding initially, but are we Bazett? Maybe? The bright light of the sun strikes my eyelids. As I start to regain consciousness, I can hear trees rustling in the cold wind that brushes against my skin. Blood slowly begins to circulate again, spreading warmth through my entire body. I've just awoken from a long sleep. I had a weird dream. I lifted myself off the sofa. Both my body and mind left unused for a long time. I hear a creak every time I move. To be honest, it hurts. Moving my arm and even just thinking is painful. Yet this sensation is also accompanied by pleasure. This pain that I've forgotten, I've come to accept it a little more than before. Seems it can still operate, such as it is. My left arm doesn't move, but it was not there in the first place. Yeah, that's because, Kirei, Yorokobe, cut off her arm to get the command seals. Seized by a sudden urge, I cradle the lost arm against me. It's a shame I lost it, but there's nothing I can do. I shall think of a way to keep on living as before in this state, without averting my eyes. I'll get a cyber arm or something. I mean, we live in, phase like a magic, like there's like magic and everything, so we can probably like, get like a metal arm, full metal alchemist style. I begin to feel dizzy under the intense sunlight beating down on me. For an instant, the warmth makes me lower my guard.
よう、目が覚めたか、マスター。
A voice comes from behind. I don't... we'll see. A voice I never heard before, yet I feel deep affection for it.
ハンリー、
I turn around, the words trail off. There's no one there. There's nothing there to begin with. Okay, so... Yeah, I was thinking, like, there's no way Angramai would just, like, show up again. It was just an echo of a memory, because she always hears him wake her up all the time. Let's continue. The owner of that voice, one that always talked back to me so casually, does not exist. Up from the sofa and towards the corner of the room, there, right in the spot where that someone used to be. Like a farewell gift, something has been left behind. Oh, it's a complete puzzle, which makes no sense. It's a sliding puzzle, isn't it? How did you get the other piece? That's cheating. A simple, nondescript white flower. Countless times he attempted to finish it and failed. A piece missing in the center, a puzzle that can never be perfectly complete. And by filling the void that was himself, he has finally finished it. That's so cheesy, but alright.
バカな男だ。こんなものどこにでも。
All sorts of scenes, the most insignificant, worthless patterns. And yet that's what he viewed as something irreplaceable. Something that will not be praised, something that nobody will stop to notice. That's a simplistic beauty that he left here. A single drop runs down my cheek. The core of my brain starts to burn. I realize that people can cry with joy, something I never learned as a child. Both regret and gratitude squeeze my chest. I feel heat to the corners of my eyes as I think of my regret for a better way that might have existed. And the days I've spent in the company of that servant.
さあ、聖杯戦争を続けようぜ、バゼット。今度こそ、あんたの望みが。
It's just my imagination. This is the kind of relationship he wished for, right until the very end. And I, knowing that, was able to carry on somehow. Did I do my part well? Not as a tragic separation, but as partners that do not trust each other going their own separate ways, just as he hoped for. If I did, then I can say farewell with my head held high. That vain show-off of a man, with his worthless meager pride. If we were able to keep it to the end, I'm sure we were the best partners there could be.
それじゃあこれで。さよなら、アベンジャー。
And I guess we were just been sleeping in the sofa. I was thinking we were like saved by Karen, right? I thought, or at least, well, Bazett anyway, was saved by Karen and like kept in care, like in the church or maybe in the hospital. But no, Bazett has just been sleeping here this whole time on the sofa. That would cause a lot of bed sores. I don't know. I don't imagine it'd be comfortable. The sun is high, and also she should probably be very stinky because she hasn't taken a bath. Well, I don't know. Who knows? The sun is high. It's probably around noon. I check my belongings, and I notice that one left-hand leather glove is missing. Sticky fingers, or maybe just timidity? If you're going to take one, just go ahead and take a set. Okay, she lost her glove. I guess Avengers took it? I don't know. I got a ton of things to do. I went missing for 6 months. If the Holy Grail War is over, then I've most likely been written off as dead.
もう、何にせよ。まずは義手を手配しないと。
Yep, I mean, yeah, just grab one. It's easy. The association would have long since erased my position by now, and I have plenty to worry about just figuring out what to do from here on.
今何か。
I heard a sound, something that definitely wasn't the chirping of birds outside. Honestly, I've really let myself go in these few months. Curiosity winning over my sense of danger, I quietly walk up to the window. What I heard was a set of footsteps. I see a boy and a girl that I remember from somewhere, climbing the hill and coming out through the trees.
ここが噂の幽霊屋敷か。けど、見た感じそんな雰囲気でもないぞ。 別に調べる必要ないんじゃないか？
ここまで来て何言ってるのよ。落ち着いたら見学に行くって言ったのはそっちでしょ？それとも何？今更おじけづいた？
Okay, it's just Shiro and Ren. Alright.
そんなことあるか。別に幽霊の一人や二人、今更怖くもない。
いい返事ね。なら行きましょう。実を言うとね、私もここには興味があったんだ。
The boy and the girl walk up to the entrance, chatting all the way. For some strange reason, I don't feel the will to fight at all now. If anything, a childish urge to set a prank comes first. Should I, as the rumor goes, play the part for a bit? I'm sure they'll be delighted, and as I'm contemplating, I hear the key turn the door lock.
考える時間はないか。さて、初めの挨拶はどんなものがふさわしいかな。
Just weird, like a weird lady, just missing for 6 months, appears out of nowhere. In a haunted house, I don't know. My face broadening into a grin, I stand at the window, waiting for the visitors. Let's continue, he said. Right now, that much is enough. I may not have an answer for the time being, but there's nothing wrong with running on in shameful worry. I'm sure it will be as painful as it always was, but there'll be a little bit of joy too.
まずは海を渡ったこの町であなたが繰り返した日常を見てきます。
My thoughts drift towards the future. The merry sound of footsteps is getting closer. Saying goodbye to the non-existent 4 days that only I knew, I greet the start of the 5th day and my new life. Well, actually, when you think about it, it was kind of like, the ending is like, hey, it was all a dream, you know? Isn't that kind of cheap? I don't know. Anyway. It was all a dream. Bazett just had like a really long dream. She went into hibernation for 6 months. That's it. That's the story. I don't know. Oh, days come, days go. We still chase the star, weaving the past memory into a beautiful tapestry. The endless 4 days has ended once and for all. From now on, the story is for you to create. Thanks, and let us part this. Hollow Ataraxia. Actually, when you think about it, Hollow Ataraxia, I believe it's basically Hollow Tranquility or Hollow Dream, actually. It's a Greek word for like peace, you know, so I guess it really was just a dream, sort of. A magical dream? Here's the credits. Alright. I don't know. And I mean, it's not... I don't think it's over yet, but we'll see, actually. There's a few things I want to do. There's the minigames, you know, especially the Hanafuda. There's also, like, a story to it. And also, I believe, I don't know, I have to double-check the clip scenes. I believe there are some post scenes, I guess, that happens after the credits that you can check out and everything. So there's that. So not exactly over yet, but I guess, you know... I guess my thoughts on Hollow Ataraxia, you know, to be honest, I'm not like super into it, but I liked it. I liked it. It's just that, you know, the pacing's weird because of the whole like loop world thing, you know, the whole like illusionary world, you know, time restarts and everything, Groundhog Day sort of. You go through a lot of like slice of life scenes where nothing really happens. I've been saying this a few times already, but like, you know, I feel like a good part of a story is the pacing, and, you know, Fate Stay Night also suffered from it, where, like, there's, like, a ton of exposition, you know, where, especially Kirei, he just talks a lot and say, hey, this is the Holy Grail War, and these are the people involved, and this was this, and here's the history of that thing, you know, and it takes, like, so long just to explain one thing. And, in the Hollow Ataraxia, I guess there's less exposition, but there are these scenes where nothing really happens, so... I do like some of them, though. You know, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's, like, interesting, you know, to add some, like, perspective on the characters. You learn the backstories as well. Though, again, sometimes, I guess, the problem sometimes is that, again, they just tell you everything, right? They give you an exposition of the servant's backstory and not let us immerse ourselves in the actual story itself. Lancer's backstory in particular, they just like told us the story. They didn't like give us the actual like scenes, you know, such as like a writer's backstory. Actually, I like that. I like the way that's been told better, because we learned about, for example, Stano and Uriel, you know, even though they're, you know, pretty like, most of it was like pretty like comedy scenes, I guess. You do actually have the actual scenes of their backstories, which is more interesting, I think. But yeah. But you know, the Bazett adventure, that was pretty interesting as well. You know, I like obviously the serious scenes, but they're again, the pacing's weird because you have to go through all of the slice of life scenes as well, and it's kind of like part of my fault, I guess. But it's kind of hard to tell, like, you know, what pacing is good, what scenes to pick. What was the earrings and puzzle? Like, yeah, just a lot of like slice of life, and then we go from, you know, it's kind of like a mood change. You go from serious scene, serious like, oh no, what's going on, mystery, and then we go from that to like, you know, haha, we're just high school kids, you know, having fun, you know, whatever. And then we switch back and forth, you know, and like, the pacing is just weird like that. I guess it, but in a way it makes sense because the whole story is all about that. It's all about the ordinary days, you know, and it loops and all that, and seeing all the what you can see and being stuck in the past and blah blah blah. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Ataraxia, but overall I liked it. Well, here we go. There's a different scene here, or a different background anyway. I guess, let's see, what's the clip scenes? Boop-a-doop-boo. Okay. Okay, so I assume there's new scenes? Well, I can't click on anything though. That's weird. I can click on this one, I'll probably get a new scene, I guess. But I don't want to go into the scene yet, right? Not right now anyway. I think I'll save that for a little bit later. Yeah, here you go. I mean, that's the main plot done. Again, there's some extra things to do, so I guess we're gonna do that. You know, if this is on YouTube, I'll save it for the next video, basically.